In 1920, the mill and sawmill in Chociński Młyn were bought from a German named Singspiel by Walerian Chociński, a merchant from Wiele. There he worked in the peat extraction industry, which he sent to Gdańsk. He owned an inn and a shop in Wiele. At that time, the mill in Chociński Młyn was in ruins. It required a thorough renovation. It was not until 4 years later that Walerian was able to bring his family from Wiele to Chociński Młyn. Chociński did not have milling qualifications, so he employed Fryderyk Kram, a millmaster from whom he learned his trade. The family of Walerian's wife Leocadia also worked in the mill. Miller Augustin Daszkowski and carpenter Jan Daszkowski in the sawmill, where he worked with a single horizontal saw. 2 weeks before the outbreak of World War II, Walerian was called up for air defense service. He was sent to a border guard station in Babylon. He was on duty at the telephone and was ordered to leave the facility only when everyone had been evacuated. He did so. Then he went to Wiele, where his family from Chociński Młyn was waiting. After the war, the tax policy imposed on private entrepreneurs forced him to close the mill. His wife Leocadia Daszkowska was born in Lubnia. When she was 11, she lost her mother, so her older sisters took care of her. As a young girl, she worked in an inn in Kramarzini, and then at the age of 17 in Wiele, in a grocery store. There she met her future husband, Walerian. From their marriage came 4 children: Stanisław, Jadwiga, her husband was Tiborska, Władysław and Maria, her husband was Weisbrot. After graduating from high school, Stanisław entered the maritime school in Gdynia. He trained on the sailing ship Dar Pomorza. Thanks to training cruises on the ship, he visited many countries. The outbreak of World War II found him on this very ship, which was in the process of sailing around the Baltic Sea. The ship sailed to neutral Stockholm. Stanisław, together with his classmates, made it to Norway and then to England. There he passed his officer exams and, being the youngest Polish officer in the Polish Navy, sailed on transport and warships. He took part in the North African campaign. He also sailed in convoys to the port of Murmansk on the Kola Bay, Barents Sea, near the border with Norway and Finland. He was torpedoed twice. After the war, he gave up sailing and began studying commercial economics in Manchester. Stanisław was preparing to return to Poland. Unfortunately, he died prematurely in Manchester. During World War II, Władysław was taken prisoner by the Americans while serving in the Wehrmacht. He volunteered for the Polish Army. In Edinburgh, England, he was conscripted into the 10th Mounted Rifle Regiment, Steel Steeds. With this regiment, he took part in the fighting in Normandy near Caen. After the war, he obtained the qualifications of a miller and settled in Chociński Młyn, running a sawmill and a small farm there. His wife was Zofia Klebosz, daughter of the forester and commander of the Gryf Pomorski branch of Konarzini, Theodor Klebosz. The passion of the Chociński family was dogs and horses. Mrs. Zofia bred spaniels, dachshunds and terriers, which won many awards at national and international dog shows. You watch this film thanks to the Osoria Association. You can support our action by making a donation. Our bank account number